The Secrets of Life with Suvas, Agam.
Namaste friends, welcome to the Secrets of Life on Swadharma television. Today we have an amazing guest with us. Today we have Dr. Leslie Brooks, International Director for a global country of WorldPeace, especially for Nepal. And we will have a small, sweet interview with her. Let's welcome her. Namaste and welcome to the show.
Namaste. Thank you for having me on your show.
Yes, we are more honored to have you. We just had a wonderful talk with Kingsley Brook, and we'd love to know more about women's role on this organization, how this global organization working for women.
Very good. Well, this is an important topic,
right?
Because all of us as human beings want to feel nourished and supported and to feel happy about life,
right?
And happy about our role in life.
Yes.
And we all start life in the arms of our mother.
Of course.
And so this is a special divine quality, really, that ladies have been given to have this great power to bear humans. And I remember one of my first lectures that I heard by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who is the founder of the organization we work with, is he said the greatest power, the greatest display of nature's intelligence is motherhood. Because the mother does nothing and everything gets done. So this is the power of motherhood that she is able to create. And so like that, we all have the ability to have that power of natural law within us. We have not unfolded it. So our organization is devoted to providing the opportunity for any individual the technology to develop their full potential. And that's the same full potential that you can have like motherhood, where you can have a desire and it is fulfilled without struggling, without straining, without suffering, without pain. So that's the gift we have as humans.
Yes. As you have been living in Nepal for years and teaching and sharing the meditation techniques for the people across the world, how is the experience of being in Nepal and sharing these meditation things?
Well, we feel very fortunate to have had the opportunity to work here in Nepal. We appreciate all the Nepali people, and you have a beautiful, precious history.
Right.
You have this tradition, a Vedic tradition. You have as your tradition this knowledge of how to awaken the laws of nature. And so for us, it's very fulfilling to come here and be talking to people who this is part of their culture, their heritage. This is part of their family upbringing. So for us, it feels at home from this point of view, very much at home. It's very different though, in many ways, but this part is very much at home.
Yeah, I would love to know how you came in contact with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, how you came to choose Maharishi as your master, because as in that time, West was bombarded with lots of masters, also lots of teachers were going there and teaching, and many at the same time, the 60s and 70s time was because of this Vietnam War, hippies were also rising, and lots of things was going on in West. So how you came to come to choose Maharishi?
That's a good question, thank you. Well, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi was really the first spiritual leader to come to the West that I remember. Maybe there were others, but he really awakened, I feel, in the West this desire for spirituality and for striving for enlightenment. Of course, we all read books as we were growing up, wonderful philosophers and religious scholars, many brilliant saints from around the world. But really it was Maharshi who, in my experience, really communicated that we could achieve this. All these other writers would talk about it, but they didn't have a practical technique to experience it, that anyone could experience easily in practical daily living. So I was in college, and I think the same for my husband. We were students in college. He was in a different place than I was, but many millions of students in the 60s and 70s learned about Maharshi and learned Transcendental Meditation when they were in college. So, and then after Maharshi made meditation a common word, and yoga, and all of these things, enlightenment, then all these other people sort of saw the cash value, let's say, instead of more the spiritual value.
Right.
And then many other people came along. But I would credit Maharshi as really the pioneer, going to the West and talking to people about enlightenment and spirituality.
Today, especially women of West are going through lots of trauma. Though of course now trauma is a global phenomenon, everyone is, but women especially, as they are so much sensitive at the same time, and they have to raise their family, and there are lots of physical violence also going on. So how will this transcendental meditation help women especially?
Yes, that's good. Well, as we all know, women have had their challenges now for hundreds of years, and are slowly rising out of a time when they were really not given the respect and appreciation that they deserved. And they, because of the times, it was, let's say, not the best of time for women over the last few hundred years. But thanks to growing awareness and growing intelligence and growing appreciation for equality, women will really rise to be the power that they are. But what's wonderful about the power of women is I can say, it's more balanced, it's more nourishing, it's more equally applied to people. And it's not always for their own gain, it's really for the betterment of humanity. And so this technique of Transcendental Meditation is so empowering. It just gives you the clarity of mind, it gives you the energy that you need to face the challenges, and particularly for women. We don't want them to lose in the hardness of having a job and competing with other people. We don't want them to lose that nourishing, loving, embracing quality, because this is what ultimately life is about, is really being nourished. And you know, you're attracted to people who are nourishing to you.
You're right.
You're not attracted to people who are criticizing you and saying you're terrible and why did you make that mistake and I don't like you. You want people who appreciate the good qualities.
Of course.
And so we really want to preserve that special value in women, and that will spread. When people start to see the real power of the female physiology and the way they think and their emotions, it will continue to rise up in a good way, not in a power-hungry way.
I have heard that if one wants to learn Transcendental Meditation, one is to pay. So there are lots of organizations who are offering meditation and techniques, lots of spiritual practices for free. So in this context, when people are more suffering and they are not even well off to pay for the techniques, how would they manage to do this?
Well, the good thing about our organization is that we have a structure based on the economy of the country.
Right.
So the fees are affordable usually for that country. And so we have found in Nepal that the fees are affordable. Now, if there are groups who it's not comfortable for them, then we offer scholarships.
Okay.
But it's difficult for us to just not teach TM for free, because we're an organization and our teachers need to be paid. It's a job for them, you know, it's a profession.
Okay.
So we have to make sure our teachers are taken care of. And
what I have felt is there are organizations who are teaching fake practices. They are
probably,
teaching not working practices, but they are so much rigorously working on the society that they have influenced the society. Whole villages are full of their training centers. So in this context, when like TM is wonderful technique, wonderful thing that will benefit them, but it is not free, it is not there everywhere in the streets. So in this way, like fake thing are freely shared, so people will be exposed to those fake things. So what do you think about sharing it more publicly?
Oh, we're happy to share. That's why we're here. That's why we offer scholarships for children to learn in schools, orphanages, farmers. We're teaching now. We've taught hundreds of farmers the TM technique, so they can work on their farms with more energy. But all these people who have started other things, we're not so worried because they don't work so well, so people will just stop. You know, they will just fall off. And eventually, these people are sincere seekers. We are here. We are making ourselves available, and we're happy to have them come and learn TM. We're open to anyone who wants to learn.
I would love to hear some brief experience of your being with Maharishi.
Well, yes, it was a blessing for my lifetime and everyone who has known him. And really, he has impacted the world more than people will realize. It probably will be several hundred years before people realize the impact he had. He did not just bring to us this ultimate technique of transcending. It's more than meditation. It's a technique of transcending. Meditation you can think of as just, thinking about the sunshine or concentrating on something, just some thinking. But this is transcending. It's taking the mind inward to that source of energy and intelligence. And so this technique in itself was life transforming. He revived the whole field of Ayurveda, which had been lost to the West. And it's not just about taking herbs. It's a whole science of life, of how to live your life. The food, the Transcendental Meditation, proper diet, proper routine, everything. It's a complete systematic science. He has revived the knowledge of Jyotish and Yagya. He has revived the knowledge of architecture, that it's really Vastu Vidya, Maharishi Vedic architecture, where you can build a building that's in accord with nature, with the laws of nature. So he has really restructured, according to the ancient Vedic literature, all aspects of our life. So if you would like to lead a healthy, happy, fulfilling, successful life, there's an easy path forward. And personally meeting him, you don't have to meet him to be transformed by his knowledge. And that's the beauty. Even though I had the fortune to meet him and it was wonderful, amazing, everything he has done has been documented and systematized, and he has made videotapes and courses. So everybody now for 10,000 years, he said once, 10,000 years, people will be able to learn as if he was here.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was, again, his brilliance in structuring this organization.
What do you think Nepal should learn from Maharishi? Our youth should learn from him?
Oh, great question. Well, you know, really, let's say if you were ever to point a finger at what is the source of the problems we have in society, we could say it was the field of education. Because no one learns in school how to really develop their inner potential. We put information in, but we don't teach the student how to awaken what's inside. So with this technology of transcending, we can awaken the student's inner genius. We help eliminate stress that's in the nervous system, which is blocking people from living their potential. And so we encourage the government to please and integrate this technology for full human development into the educational system, so that our students grow up enlightened. They grow up without stress. They grow up knowing that life is not about suffering and sickness and problems. Nobody wants to suffer. No one. Do you want to be sick and in pain?
No.
No. That shows that the nature of life is not to suffer, it's not to be sick. We all want to be happy and successful and see good things. And that is the life we can have. So I please, whatever we can do, to ask the government of Nepal to just integrate this technology. Literally, life in Nepal will be transformed, just completely transformed. People, when they transcend, they create coherence in the environment, and it affects everyone. So we can transform everything in Nepal. We can have a prosperous, healthy, clean, happy environment.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you,
At last,
Suvas.
I would love to ask the major question of our show, that is, what is the secret of our life?
There's no secrets. There's no secret at all. In life is to be lived in enlightenment. You just have to be pointed down the right path.
Okay.
So the right path is here. It's starting to transcend. And we have very beautiful courses where you can just dive in as deep as you like to enjoy this simple, easy knowledge that connects you to everything in society. So the secret is here, the answer is here, the key is here. You have it right in front of you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Suvas.
We are really honored to have you. Thank you.
Beautiful. And congratulations to all the viewers and listeners and all of your team. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Jai Gurudev.
Everyone.
Okay, namaste.
Thank you. Nice.
Thank you very much, Bobby, for wonderful camera work. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And I thank my audience for being with us. Thank you. Namaste.
Great. Namaste.
The Secrets of Life with Suvas Agam.